Hi everyone, welcome back to the Controversial Podcast. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the Madlanga Commission.
They voted upon government. But if government is going to be taken in this fashion, it cannot happen under our name. So it's for that reason that we wanted to communicate a message to South Africa that we are ready and communicate a message to this drug squad, politicians, the executive, police officers within law enforcement agencies that we're ready for them. I said when I presented earlier, I knew that I've got a target on my back. So for me, maybe you'll forgive me in saying this as a Zulu man. So I wanted to make sure that they get a message that
I don't sneak up on a person. I face them directly.
So Commissioner, we were pushed to the corner that for us to counter this, what is happening, let's draw attention of South Africa for them to realize the battle that we're about to face. And it is a battle, I must say, as I said, when you put that screen, that they are so-called experts, they are so-called forensic investigators, they are so-called journalists. There's a whole lot of people that are spreading news, feeding the narrative that has been perpetuated by these people internal. We have people in the organization that when a case is open, they take the docket and they keep it in their office and they don't investigate it. And we have evidence for that. The Deputy Provincial Commissioner Gauteng can be called into this commission. He will tell you the list of all these dockets that were opened. There is one of them, it's a kidnapped person which is allegedly Madlala is involved. That docket was in Gauteng, but an instruction came from the head office.
The general has wrapped up his explosive testimony at the Madlanga Commission, and I just want us to talk about the relationship that he has with the National Commissioner, Fanny Masemola. It seems like they had a fallout. Maybe they are fine now, I don't know. Now, why do I believe that General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi had a fallout with Fanny Masemola? He actually stated that he had a team deployed in Richards Bay because of that meeting that he had earlier with the minister, the premier, where they were talking about the crime that was happening in Richards Bay because there's a mine there. There was also an issue of tenders. Other people were deleted. So he decided to take a responsibility to investigate those cases. Apparently, there were 5 cases that were registered in Richards Bay. So there were 5 dockets. He sent his team there. Then they stayed for about a year, but that plan didn't yield anything. Actually, they had a failed mission because they couldn't crack those cases. He told his team to come back to Durban and work from there because they were not winning. Shortly after that, he received a phone call from Fanny Masemola asking him about the team that was stationed in Richards Bay and why that team is no longer there. So Mkhwanazi explained that no, he doesn't have a budget for those people. I'm talking about the detectives and also the tactical team. He said he doesn't have a budget for them, and whatever investigations that they were supposed to do, they didn't win. So he said, come back, it's not working. Because there's no budget for them. Apparently, he took a budget from his operational budget. The National Commissioner, Fanny Masemola, said, take them back, they'll work there again. And said he's going to give him a budget for that. That's when Mkhwanazi decided to have a big team. But while he was preparing that, there was another phone call from somebody from tax team calling him that, you know what, I've been stationed here. Can you give us your detectives, the ones that were stationed there? Mkhwanazi wasn't happy about that because there was also other police there working already. Decided to call Fanny Masemola and ask him why didn't he inform him that there was other people in that side. Fanny Masemola referred him to another person. So he wasn't happy about that, I guess. There was lack of communication between him and Fanny Masemola. So I feel like he felt disrespected because Richards Bay is his territory. Fanny Masemola was supposed to do better. He got mad because he said he didn't say anything. He just sent those people. But at the same time, he was angry about it. There was misunderstanding. had General Fanny Masemola communicated with the general and informed him about his plans, General Mkhwanazi was going to listen, and General Mkhwanazi was going to do the same. He was going to tell him about his plans about Richards Bay because they had an issue of crime there. The community of Richards Bay complained. I'm talking about the business people. Some people were deleted. There was hijackings, and that misunderstanding would have been avoided had it been that Fanny Masemola just came to KZN or maybe arranged a meeting with General of KwaZulu-Natal. Things would have been much, much better. It's very important to communicate, especially when you are working with other people. He felt ambushed or surprised knowing that there were people deployed in Richards Bay and he didn't know anything about it. And that's his territory. I think that's what made him angry. So yeah, there's a lot that actually happened there because he also spoke about the other acting head of that correctional services. I'm talking about the acting head of Kalagabusha, the one that was supposed to be arrested, and they actually blamed Dladla Mkhwanazi. They actually stated that he protected that acting head of Kalagabusha. Even Brown Mokgotsi knew about it. That's why I'm saying Fanny Masemola and the general of KwaZulu-Natal had a fallout because maybe at that time, but as the time goes on, Mkhwanazi came out on the 6th of July and made explosive allegations about criminal syndicates, drug cartels, the SAPS minister Senzo Mchunu interfering with police operations. There was a lot, hey? And then Fanny Masemola supported him, actually. Fanny Masemola showed a lot of support. We've seen how he carried himself around the media. He was very supportive. I think he was just trying to mend the relationship with the general because he even stated that he did not know anything about the disbandment of the KZN political task team. Maybe now they no longer have issues, but I felt like they had a fallout. Now let's move on and talk about Brown Mokgotsi, another questionable character. Hey, Mokgotsi is not a policeman, is not an SAPS member, or rather working in the security cluster. He's just a South African citizen, but he has the sensitive information of the SAPS. He knows what's happening. He even said he was also involved in the Thabo Bester saga. He knows a lot. It's as if it's someone who holds a senior position in the SAPS, but no, Mkhunu can no longer lie to us. Even though he lied at first and said, no, I don't know Mokgotsi. All of a sudden, after that explosive allegations that were made by the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner, Dladla Mkhwanazi, came out and said, no, I know Brown Mokgotsi is a comrade. But now we have learned that Brown Mokgotsi has a very close relationship with Mkhunu. He knows his diary. This is the man who knows his movements. He knows about the cases in the SAPS. There was a time when Mkhwanazi said he even called the chief of the staff in the ministry office. The person that he spoke to, I think it was Gabinde, and said he knows Brown Mokgotsi. Brown Mokgotsi knows Senzo Mchunu. He even asked the number to confirm if indeed this is Mokgotsi. And yeah, it was Mokgotsi. They've been having conversations with Mokgotsi. Mokgotsi even told him that they've got a case against Dladla Mkhwanazi. How did he get that information? If Mkhunu keeps on saying, I don't know this person, or maybe this person is just a comrade. We don't know whether this guy Mokgotsi is an informant of police because he denied. He said, no, I'm not an informant. I think it was ENCA News that was interviewing him. He said, no, I'm not a police informant, but I know a lot of things. This is a mess. How can you have somebody who's not working and have that kind of information, very sensitive information? He even knows Vusimuzi Matlala, even Bheki Cele. The former minister of the SAPS is a shady man, I'm telling you. Apparently, Khan and Senzo Mchunu are buddies, according to the information that was given by General Mkhwanazi. It seems like they do have a close relationship. And why Khan is a member of the SAPS? He holds a senior position, but at the same time, he's also attending the EFF rallies or whatever, the EFF fundraising parties. Like, what are you doing there? If you are a member of the SAPS, why are you associating yourself with parties? There was a policeman that was actually suspended by Dladla Mkhwanazi, I heard. That person is a member of Umkhonto weSizwe Party and was seen in one of Umkhonto weSizwe Party's rallies. And Mkhwanazi said, you know what? Suspend this man. If you are a policeman, you are not supposed to associate yourself with parties. Bheki Cele is shady, man. I feel like Bheki Cele needs to be arrested because a lot of people didn't believe Advocate Difo and they were busy laughing him. I did not get that part. That man was exposing Bheki Cele. He spoke about Bheki Cele getting a shipment. I think that shipment was from Brazil, and that container was only carrying drugs. So the then National Commissioner, Kehla Sithole, found out about that and took that shipment. And it was a war. Apparently, Bheki Cele was very angry because that was his staff, because he had an influence at that time because he was a minister. He told Ramaphosa to fire Kehla Sithole. I mean, that's what we had from Advocate Difo. I feel like the truth is now coming out. People are now believing Advocate Difo. Maybe Bheki Cele is indeed a drug dealer. We don't know. It's just speculations. But Mkhwanazi also stated that Cele tried to interfere with the police work. He was no longer the SAPS minister. Mkhwanazi stated that Cele is pursuing Khumalo to resign from the police so that he can stay away from the disciplinary case because he was appointed to deal with that case departmentally against General Khan. Mkhwanazi was very angry and said that made him very angry and disappointed in Cele, and said, can really General Cele go to the extent of wanting a person to resign from the SAPS because he wants to protect someone? It was really strange. I did not talk to Cele from that day. So yeah, Bheki Cele was just trying to interfere with police work. Mkhwanazi also stated that Cele, when he was the SAPS minister, he didn't want Khumalo. All of a sudden, he wants Khumalo to go and work in Gauteng just because Khumalo was actually investigating Khan because of the drug bust that happened in Gauteng. Even though the general said he vindicated Khan in that disciplinary hearing, he found no wrongdoing that was done by Khan. Actually, he did a great job because they were trying to steal drugs. Can you imagine? The SAPS, the other police were trying to steal those drugs after it was discovered that a truck was loaded with drugs. One might believe that Cele is a drug dealer. I mean, this theory might be true. Whenever there's drugs, Bheki Cele is mentioned. Bheki Cele is just an ordinary member now. He's no longer the SAPS minister, but why he has an influence? Currently, Bheki Cele spoke to the Premier of Gauteng and they wanted Khumalo to resign for 5 years so that he can work that side. I think Premier at that time was Panyaza, if I'm not mistaken. If indeed it was Panyaza needs to go to the Madlanga Commission and answer why he has business with Bheki Cele, even though Bheki Cele is no longer a minister. Like why politicians are meddling in SAPS matters. Why? If the politicians are meddling in SAPS or meddling in any other department, then this country will never be a safe place. This country will never be free from corruption. We need to vote wisely, because what is this? Why do we keep on calling these people businessmen, talking about the likes of the Matlalas? You know, it's really hard. Trust me, these people don't even care about the citizens of South Africa. They just want to loot. The PA also announced Kenny Kunene as their mayoral candidate in Gauteng, but the very same Kenny Kunene was found in Katiso Molefe's place, the controversial businessman who masterminded the deleting of DJ Sambodi. Politicians are dirty, man. You can say whatever you want to say, but these politicians are dirty. They're playing a dirty game. Now we know why Malema is always having sensitive information. It's Malema who said Fanny Masemula is going to be arrested. Apparently, maybe Khan was the one who was busy updating Julius Malema. Khan is the problem here. Bheki Cele is the problem here. Brown Mokhotsi, the controversial businessman. The justice system in this country is collapsing. But I think we should be hopeful because we have people like General Ndledla Mkhwanazi. I really hope we can have so many people like General Ndledla Mkhwanazi. If people are committing crime, they should face the music in courts. Even if it's the president, even if it's a senior politician, they deserve to be behind bars. Let me know on the comment section. Let's not be emotional. Let's discuss this on the comment section. I'll see you on the next episode. Please subscribe. Please share this episode. And to those who have subscribed on this channel, thank you. Thank you so much. And the people who watch this channel, thank you. Bye. See you on the next episode.